Hello there, boys and girls. My name is SidAlpha, and welcome to a very overdue episode of Is It Worth It? Today we're going to be taking a look at Star Wars Battlefront. This game was released around 10 days ago, actually exactly 10 days ago, November 17th by Electronic Arts. Now this is a game that I was actually planning on just skipping because of the simple fact that Star Wars Battlefront has absolutely no single-player campaign mode or story mode component. Now, EA's decision to do this was simply stating that they were looking at the metrics and said that most people don't even play the campaigns, and so why bother doing a tacked-on campaign that most people aren't going to play when we can concentrate on making a better multiplayer game. So that's where they focused everything, folks, was the multiplayer component, and that's all there is. Which is a shame. After being without a new Star Wars game for so long, I was hoping for a bit more than a multiplayer only game. Mainly because I'm very leery about these types of games because of the simple fact that when it's a multiplayer only, then you end up paying full retail price for a AAA title, and developers like Electronic Arts will be working in something that in the tech industry, as is the video game industry, refers to something known as planned obsolescence. And that is something that you see very common with Call of Duty and Battlefield and all those type of games where you have a planned obsolescence of the video game, because with those games they're turning out a new one every single year. And so you end up spending massive amounts of money on these games that are basically multiplayer only. The ones that do have a campaign mode, better than 9 times out of 10, it is the most tacked on, worthless piece of garbage you could ever imagine. And so that's why people don't buy those games for the story mode. They buy them for the multiplayer component. And that is why Electronic Arts decided we're just going to do the multiplayer component only and not even deal with the campaign. I can see their reasoning behind it, and it makes a lot of sense, but at the same time, fuck you for not including a campaign. You know, at the end of the day, I have to back up and defend you guys, the consumer. And without any form of campaign or story mode whatsoever, you're basically paying exactly the same price for less content, and that's not something I am okay with at all. So, but I'm going to climb off of my soapbox for a little bit here, and we're going to take a look at gameplay here in a little bit. But first, let's take a look at what we always do. First, we take a quick look at the options menu. Okay, so here we are in the options menu, or the settings menu. We've got controls, gameplay, credits list, EA account, audio, and video. Let's take a quick look at the controls. So we've got general, controllers, and these are fully rebindable. We also have key bindings for mouse and keyboard, and these are separated out by soldier, ground vehicle, air vehicle, and all of these are fully rebindable as well. Now, in addition to that, we're going to take a quick look at the video settings. We've got full screen, says which monitor to use for full screen. We've got full screen resolution, which the 1920 by 1080 seems to be the highest resolution it goes to. Sorry folks, it looks like there's no 4K resolutions available. We've got the refresh rate, which is usually tied to the resolution. VSync, field of view, although bear in mind this is vertical field of view, not horizontal. Motion blur amount, resolution scale, graphics quality, and I just set it to ultra. Anti-aliasing is FXAA. Ambient occlusion, terrain quality. This looks like pretty solid here. I'm not really seeing anything out of the ordinary. They also have colorblind profiles, which is a very nice touch, and I think should be included in all video games, guys. So that's a good thing to see there. And then we have the audio options, where we have the master volume, the output, music, dynamic range, speech. We got language and sub. not too bad, I guess. You know? So overall, I think the options menu is solid. It doesn't really look to me like they missed much of anything. They've got the colorblind profiles. Well, they did miss the 4K resolution, but they probably didn't want to do that for console parity, which is, that's a disgusting word in the PC gaming language, but unfortunately, a lot of game developers do that. They don't take advantage of the fact that the PC hardware is vastly superior. Okay, so we're gonna go back to that. Now you've got the season pass thing here, where you can get the season pass. I of course did not buy it because fuck season passes. I'm not gonna dump an extra ton of money on something that I don't even know what it is. Sorry, screw you EA for even including that without detailing exactly what people are going to be getting for the expansion packs. That's poor. That's poor value to the consumer. It's not consumer friendly at all, and it's not something I agree with. So screw you EA for doing that. Stats. KD ratio, of course, look at that. 0.29, guys. That's how bad I suck. Yes, that's right. I am horrible at FPS games. I freely admit it. I don't play them very often, but I can still analyze the game and be able to give you guys an honest impression review because I have still played through multiple FPS games. Whether I suck at them or not, I can still play them. Now, we've got multiplayer or missions. These are basically your two options here. In missions, we've got the training. We've got the battles, fight against a friend or the AI, and we've got singles, survival, which is single or co-op action. Now, and then we have multiplayer. We've got Walker Assault, Drop Zone, Supremacy, Fighter Squadron, Blast and Cargo, Droid One, Hero Hunt, Heroes versus Villain. And to be honest, guys, the only one that's actually any fun is Walker Assault. And this is bear in mind, you have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 modes in this multiplayer only game. And just so you know, bear in mind, if you haven't purchased the game already, there's no logistical way to be able to play on the same team as your friends. So you can't form clans or anything like that and be able to have, a team of 16 of your friends, or a team of yourself and 15 of your friends going up against whoever else is out there. There's no communications in the game, and it's kind of a mess, really. What I'll do is I'll actually tab over and just let you guys watch some recorded gameplay footage there. But basically what it is they are attempting, it seems to me they're attempting to generate Warzone chaos by not allowing you to effectively communicate with your teammates, and by doing a bunch of other small little things. The spawns are a mess. Spawn raping is a very real thing and happens quite often. I haven't noticed too many bugs except for when I was flying in the speeder. Then I noticed a fair amount of hitching and jumping, and it was very, very hard to control. If you're going to be piloting any vehicles in this game, then go get yourself a controller. Trust me, or use a controller with it. Trust me, you won't regret it. The keyboard and mouse controls are garbage for flight, which is not something that it's not something that I am okay with. The keyboard and mouse controls, they should have had more thought into how the overall controls went, because they know that if you're playing on PC, the vast majority of people are going to be playing with a keyboard and mouse. So, you can do a lot better with a controller, but you shouldn't have to. You really shouldn't. So basically, there's quite a few things that this game should have to help enhance the PC gamer's experience that it just really doesn't. The flight controls for vehicles is absolute garbage. There's no way to coordinate or communicate with your teammates, which creates this artificial sense of chaos, battlefield chaos, which, you know, a lot of people may enjoy. But, you know, part of the things of being in a multiplayer game is to be able to play with other people, along with other people, being able to talk with them, communicate with them, coordinate and strategize with them. And that's something that's not possible in this game, and it really should be. It would be a much, much better game for it. Plus, also the lack of diversity with the game modes really takes down the overall experience of the game, and means there's no single player options to really help prop this game up. The overall total amount of content you get in this game is extremely limited. But it looks pretty. Yeah, I do have to admit, the graphics are amazing. It's a beautiful game. There have been very few bugs or glitches. I've had 0 crashes whatsoever. The only bugs I've experienced have been while piloting a vehicle. So overall, it's been a very stable released game for me, and that's something that we're not really accustomed to in this day and age. Normally we're used to these things being a buggy fucking mess when they come out, and it's nice to me to see that this one, at least on my system, has been running very well. But however, that being said, we have to go back to the overall question: is it worth it? Is Battlefield worth it? Is Battlefront worth it to you guys, the consumer, at $60? We've got great solid gameplay mechanics. I mean, mechanically, everything works and functions as it should. The graphics are amazing. The options menu is well fleshed and well thought out. Not very much missing there at all. And it's a Star Wars game, so it automatically wins a point or two in my book for that. But at the same time, there is a lack of diversity in the game modes. There is a lack of cooperation and communication capabilities within the game itself. There's no real way to be able to play with your friends directly unless you are going into that smaller co-op, single-player co-op mode. But the standard multiplayer, there is no way, no designed way for you to be able to do that. And also, no single player. There's no single player campaign to help give you more reasonable amounts of content with the game. So as it stands, it's a very stripped down, very basic, very structured thing. And overall, because of taking all that into account, it wins a lot of points. But is it worth it to you guys at the $60? Excuse me. Is it worth it to you guys at that $60 price point? No. I know a lot of people are probably going to be upset at me for saying that, but fuck no. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I played and recycled on 3 different. I have 2 EA accounts, just so you guys know. But the one that you saw on the screen there is very indicative of my overall experience, and I suck at these games. But I usually do get drawn in and engrossed with them because it's fun when you're able to work with and play with other people. And you can't do that in this game because it's a multiplayer game, but it's not. It's a bunch of people playing a single player map on a multiplayer server. That's what it is. That's what they've turned this into. And I'm sorry guys, that's boring as fuck. Why would you want to do that to yourself when there's so many other better, more intelligently designed games out there than this? So at $60, no, absolutely not, because of the amount of content and the amount of gameplay value you'd be able to get out of this game. I would recommend ignoring it. until there's a sale, or it's down to around the $30 to $40 price point. At $60, it's just not worth it, and especially not with Season Pass. The microtransactions and everything else that goes along with it makes me just want to go, fuck you, EA. Okay, this game is a rape on your wallet and is not worth your time or energy. So there we go. Once again, this has been a Is It Worth It episode of Star Wars Battlefront. $60 or your regional equivalent without the Season Pass, and it's not worth it, guys. Once again, my name is SidAlpha, and I'll see you guys next time. Hey folks, SidAlpha here. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. If you want to check out some other First Impressions videos, feel free to click on the link on the left. If you're interested in staying more up to date with what's happening in the PC gaming community, feel free to click on the link to your right. The subscribe button is down at the bottom. Please show your support and punch that evil thing as hard as you can. And once again, thanks for watching. I appreciate it.